Hey, what's up, guys? Mahmoud Utaibi here, and I know I would need to start with an explanation. The latest video posted from me was dated back on January 14, and today is April 5. So we're talking about half a month in Jan, and then February, and then March, and now we're April. This is a 2.5 month of disconnection. And I promise you guys, this is a promise that I'm gonna give you all the explanation that you want. I'll be extremely committed to give you this explanation. Just allow me to give this to you in a natural way, and I promise you I'm gonna tell you all the reasons behind this disconnection, and I'm also gonna somehow use this as an opportunity to know what happens when we are starting an online business, because nothing to hide here. This is a new business by itself, what I'm doing, and the disconnection that I had is due some reasons, and I guess those reasons are common between any one of you guys who is trying to launch a new online business. Now, the good thing is that I have noted and I have literally saved all those reasons, analyzed them, and had them on my papers, and right now they are in my pipeline to be blogged about and to be released to you, so you would know what's happening and you would relate this to online business overall and what's the reason behind the disconnections that you may be having. Now, what I need to tell you at this point is that I started my kaboomtheweb.com with a first journey announced, which is my journey launching and working on a website publicly with you and showing you the results that I'm having. And for the same reasons, which I'm gonna let you know about them in the next videos, for the same reasons, I simply paused this business journey. It's currently paused. Now I'm gonna 100% go back and resume the work. I don't know when, and I don't want to give you and fail my promises any longer. Fine? And hold on. But definitely I'm gonna go back to continue what's happening with to continue the dropshipping model, because that's something which I'm personally very interested to start and have as a stream or a channel initiated, just like all the other channels that we're currently running in e-commerce. That was a necessary introduction, guys, so apologies for not getting into the topic of this video so fast. Now, the topic of this video is simply is called the shiny business syndrome and the mountain. So what do I mean by these two words? I guess, of course, you will we are in our what we do here. If you're watching this for the first time, what I personally do in my blog and in kaboomtheweb.com is to help you become aware of the reasons why people in general struggle to launch their online businesses in the first place, and after they launch, they may lose interest after some time and quit working on the business itself. So what's happening here? What's happening is I framed it under this fancy name, if I may call it. It's due to the shiny business syndrome. So what's happening with the shiny business syndrome? What's happening is that all of us nowadays we're living, and we see people around us. They make money they make their money, they're living, their business is succeeding, and simply you think that, okay, now that guy is making money, and then he's making money out of that business, then most probably I can do the same. I mean, why not? I could easily do the same, build the same kind of business and make the same amount of money, because it's very easy, obviously, because from the way I see this business, it doesn't seem to be hard to operate or to start. So what happens is that you hop into that business and you create the website. Now, what happens after that is it could be really, you discover that it's really hard to run the business, or you discover that there is hardly any money to make for you to maintain this hard work that you need to put, and then you start thinking about this money that you can possibly earn, and you think that it won't be enough for me to sustain operations, because I discovered I need to build operations, I need to hire people, I need to rent a small warehouse, but then how many orders do I need to sell? Do I need to sell like 500 orders per month? But this business obviously doesn't give me that number of orders. It could give me just maybe $20 for 20 orders per month for a very long time, which is not enough for you to sustain this amount of operations. So this I call a scenario that you may encounter. Now I just want to give you a little bit of insight why this is happening, and before I tell you that insight, I wanna give you some real examples first. So in the e-commerce world nowadays, we see that a lot of businesses are starting nowadays in specific niche. This niche is one of the niches is the beard oil niche. The products where you simply see a beard, the beard oil products for in the men's grooming category. So nowadays, I guess, and now, by the way, it's the intensity of this niche is, I feel it started to fade away a little bit. But before perhaps 6 months or 1 year back, this niche was bombarding the my Facebook feed, because every couple of days I see more ads coming up for a new brand. Now, if you want to go and ask yourself, where are all those brands? And you know what? Perhaps you were one of the guys who were thinking, why don't I create a website to sell beard oil? Like we see all these websites. One is called like menscave.com or tons of. I don't want to name any names. Just say that there's plenty of those brands. I guess you can relate to some of them. Now, what happened to the brands? Why I don't see Facebook ads nowadays? So I guess most of them they run out of business and they abandon the project. Okay, what's happening? We go back to the explanation of the shiny business syndrome and the mountain. So as people are looking at those different niches or different brands being advertised on Facebook, it's the trend, it's the niche, so people should be making a lot of money with those websites. I should jump in and start creating a beard oil website. So that is a shiny business syndrome. But then you hop into that website and then you discover what you discover, that it requires some long-term commitment, and you simply it's not gonna be enough for you to make enough return to run that business. And then we need to ask, how come is that specific brands, they run out of business, but a very minority of them and very few of them survive? And if we are looking at 100 brands being advertised, perhaps 90 or 95% of them will run out of business. You will not see any track of them in the future, but at least 5% are here to stay, and they will keep on be selling in the of course they'll be in business for years to come. So now I'm gonna explain the mountain effect. What do I mean by the mountain? As you know, mountains, they have roots. Mountains, they have in fact deep roots. I'm not I'm not the experienced guy here to talk about mountains, but what I know is that the roots of the mountains actually they are much bigger than the mountain size. Or let's look at icebergs, for example. It's the same concept. So what people miss to see in when looking at a business from the outside is that they only look to see that the part of the business which is above ground level, which is the part which is apparent, how much money it's happening, just the fancy things, the shiny things, but you can't see what's happening underneath that ground. And from here we can imagine that mountain. So the mountain, there is a lot of fruits deep inside the ground, and it's only because of the roots that the business is surviving in the first place. So the business who last for years to come are the businesses that has very deep roots for their mountains. Accordingly, the businesses fail because in the first place they fail in judging this whole niche. Then they get into something without realizing that, okay, there is a whole lot of operations that is required. And you may be wondering now, and perhaps this is the last point of how I'm gonna end this video after this. You may be wondering, then in this case, how can I build my roots first? How can I build my roots? The answer would be is only through starting. It's not about starting early. It's just about you being able to stand the expenses and keep on refining the business and keep on refining your business model as you are running the business without quitting. And in that refinement period, you will be building your teams, building your service model, building your primary business model, and then looking at ways you can start adding competitive, let's say, income streams or competitive advantage over the primary business model that you are having. So I'll give you a small example of this. So when you are looking at that shiny business, which is, let's say, a men's grooming brand, right? Deep inside his mountain, the roots may consist of a backbone, an e-commerce backbone, which is running other websites and which is making money selling other products which you don't see. So according to you, that business which has a thick roots, which is unknown to you, in fact has a huge competitive advantage over you. Which means that you simply can't stand a chance. Because as a company they are surviving doing other things, but you are solely relying on your brand when you are launching. So that's how a competitive advantage can be built between companies. I think I can end the video now, and I'm recording from my home, obviously. But I'm working on a very, very, very super nice setup. It's gonna be ready in very few weeks. I'm building something cool in my office. It's gonna be a professional setup, and I'll most probably start creating videos from there. So anyway, guys, ending this video. This is called Why Businesses Fail: The Shiny Business Syndrome and the Mountain. So my final advice here, if you're looking at something from the outside, don't get fooled by the shiny things. And you know what? The problem here, that some of the online business owners who are simply marketing themselves, they're not being quite honest with you. So on YouTube, just go on YouTube right now and start searching, for example, making money on Shopify, or making money blogging, or making money selling stuff on Amazon or Souq.com, whatever, or making money selling on my e-commerce store. You will be amazed to see how the number of e-commerce store owners and business owners who are shamelessly, I'm very sorry to use this word, but shamelessly advertising how much money they are making per day. Let's say, you know, this kind of shiny titles, click here to see or watch my video while I make $7,000 572, you know, per day. So this is a pure example of a shiny title, because it's somehow tricking you into believing that, oh, that's extremely simple. And he actually wants you to believe that it's simple. But what he doesn't tell you is how much competitive advantage he is having. The number of team that is powering his shop and his operations. How many years he had spent refining his process. All of this, he never, he never gets to tell you about all of that. So you could easily buy into his thing, and he would be working, of course, on telling you to buy his course, teaching you how to build a similar store. While in fact, if you buy into the shiny business, if you get his course based on a shiny business syndrome, then it's most probably that you're gonna struggle without realizing the kind of operations that you need to build. Mahmoud Utaibi here, signing off, and I'll hope to see you soon.